Hello? Yeah, move in a bit here. Yeah, that should be a bit better. Wait, move my camera a bit. There we go. I'll fill in the spaces. Okay. Now I'll see if anyone shows up, because I don't know what time it is anywhere else in the world, but it's 8 a.m. here. Yeah, so I don't know if actually anyone's gonna arrive for this live stream, but we'll see. Probably should have done one last night, but we were celebrating, and we were enjoying our Halloween evening, which was very nice. I decided to choose the time with a loved one over joining anyone here. But we still have time. It's still a bit early, so we'll see if anyone shows up. 2 minutes. What will I do if no one shows up? Maybe I could play a game. Play some Megapunk. We were watching lots of movies last night, and we stayed up till quite late with our last movie, Only Lovers Left Alive. I'm not sure who I'm chatting to right now. Just, I suppose, anyone who watches the POV of this. Just so these first few minutes aren't super boring for you. You don't click off. We're currently at 11,000 euros. 11,600 euros. And 5 euros at the end there. I'll change that to dollars actually for the live stream, because I think most of y'all know dollars, though at this hour, are we gonna have any Americans awake? I don't know. Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? It is early enough. It's about well, it's not too bad. It's 8 a.m. here. But yeah, we were up last night watching some horror movies. I do not like horror movies. But yeah, this is, I'm not mistaken, this is Fluffy, right? Your BB is Fluffy, right? You're the same person. I've never been like 100% sure. I'm chilling. You look tired. I am tired, very tired. Yeah, we're up till like 1 or 2 a.m. watching movies. I was going to do a live stream yesterday evening, but I just wanted to spend my time with my girls. So this is the decision I have made. But I do want to do a live stream just before the Kickstarter ends, just to wrap it up. It would be terrible of me not to. I'm just so incredibly grateful that we made it. And so we are seeing this timer countdown. Let me actually drag this down a little bit. Look at that. You can actually see in live time the minutes tick down, which I think is pretty cool. How are you doing today? How is everyone else? I can see there's one other person in the chat. I see you. I see you two viewers out there. It's a very strange hour to be streaming, but it's the only one that works for me. Alright, let's get the chat up here on my phone as well, so I can also interact with you all via text if needs be. Alright. What would you like to do for this last hour? 3 people in chat. Hell yeah. Fantastic. Hello, Eloy. Welcome, welcome. Good morning to you. Stream Elements bots. We're running I don't know what you're talking about there. Alright. Good to know you're running Streamlabs. Thanks. How are you doing, Eloy? What time is it where you are? Oh. I'm not usually this tired this hour, but we were up kind of late for Halloween. Hope you all had a nice Halloween. Did anyone do anything nice or special or particular? Do you celebrate Halloween? How do you celebrate Halloween? I'm curious. Just woke up, didn't expect to see this. Yeah, I just woke up too. I don't know how long I'll survive. I'll stay for the hour. We have an hour. We have the timer. Where is it? Up here. So we're at 59 minutes. That's how long the stream's gonna be. We're gonna end it when the stream finally ends, because I actually don't know what happens when Kickstarter ends. So we'll see. We can see that together, what actually happens. Oh, you went for a special Halloween sleep. Very nice. I would have liked to have gotten a little bit more sleep, but I have no regrets. Hello, Miss Fortune. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible that we actually got there. I was nervous the whole way through. I was just like, I just was so worried about the Kickstarter. I just didn't know if we would make it. I don't know how these things work. I was told by Salty Nick that I chose the most stressful route because most Kickstarters either get funded in the first day or two, or they just flop. But mine has gone right down to the wire, but we made it in the end. Which is wonderful. I just cannot thank everyone who supported this Kickstarter enough. It just means the world to me, truly. It's just like incredible. Eloy says, yesterday for Halloween, I just watched some horror movies. Oh, we did too. We did a lot of cooking actually as well to celebrate. I made an apple pie to celebrate, well, to pay my respects to my nan who passed away a couple of years ago. She always made an apple pie. We made a little shrine for all the people in our lives who have passed away. Made a beef bourguignon. We had the rest of the wine from the beef bourguignon. What else did we do? Yeah, we watched 2 movies. We watched Pearl, and we watched Only Lovers Left Alive, which is an excellent vampire movie. Probably the best depiction I've seen of vampires in a movie anyway, because we're going to be playing a Vampire Masquerade campaign very, very soon, which is really fun. Beamy says, any ideas on what next Kickstarter you'll make? Yes, I've been thinking about this, what my next Kickstarter will be. So what I've learned from this, and what a lot of other content creators have said to me, is that numbers for D&D supplements, has plummeted. It's just like completely dropped off a cliff. There's far less people backing D&D projects on Kickstarter. So my original plan was maybe next year I would release a book for all my skill trees for Dungeons and Dragons, making the class a skill tree into a Kickstarter and making it a D&D supplement, and then get to play test it more with the public and build an interest and a hype around it. But then I would then go ahead and release my own TTRPG, which I am in the process of making. Like, all the bare bones of it are done. Like, it's in a playtesting stage now. It's in its alpha. But I think I'm just going to skip straight ahead and release my TTRPG. Maybe even next year. We'll see where I am with busyness and things, because I'm also getting married next year. next summer. But I hope it'd be wonderful if next year I can run a Kickstarter for a whole new TTRPG called Goblins, and pretty much all my video content next year is going to be Goblins stuff, talking about this new TTRPG and how to play it and how you can get your hands on it, how you can start running it. Just gonna get the word out there about this game because I'm really, really happy with it. And I will say, there is a mini game in the Ugly Goblins cookbook. I am, regardless of what we've reached here, I think just for the support that we've gotten and everything else, and I want a fishing mini game in this book. So I'm going to put it in there. I've been working on it, and it's actually very similar mechanically, or it takes the core mechanics ish from Goblins, and it puts it into this game, and it makes it a fishing mini game. And I think it's really fun. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with this mini game. Sorry for the yawning. Amy says, and I just want the next Kickstarter be. Eloy, you say, almost didn't make it to fun, but thankfully I was able to meet the deadline. Oh, thank you so much for helping support it. That I can't tell you how much that means. Truly, genuinely, I'll be straight with you. I went to YouTube full time. The only reason I can do it is because of my Patreon. And the support I get there is incredible. And this is not to diminish it in any ways, but I'm only earning a bit more than minimum wage. Maybe not quite. I'm around minimum wage at the moment. But it allows me to survive and do what I love because, and I just can't, I will never stop thanking my patrons for that, for allowing me to live the kind of life I'm living right now. But to see the success of the Kickstarter, it's just incredible to see a brighter future in this too. The majority of this money obviously is going towards the book itself, but because my fiance and I are the artists working on it, we can pay ourselves for the work we've done on it, and it's just amazing to be able to have that little bit of extra income. It's incredible. So I just thank you so much. It's wonderful to be able to make books and get paid for them. And I just hope we can do a really, really good job with delivering this book, because this is so exciting for us. Yeah. Bimi says, oh, by the way, Spooky Blue was so cute. Thank you. I actually made, for context, we dressed Blue up as a ghost for Halloween, but I made the snoot hole a little too big, so the eye holes kept sliding back, so it's quite tricky to actually keep it on, but she did. She looked very, very cute. Thank you. Misfortune says, how many recipes has been added to the cookbook from the Kickstarter stuff? So as in, how many people have backed a thing that adds extra recipes? Is that what you're asking? Well, we can have a look. Oh, you gotta go, Ella? Oh, well, thank you so much for joining. We will do a giveaway during this live stream as well. We'll spin the wheel for it. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So first, though, let's switch over here. And we can actually see, the pledges. I think it's in rewards. So that is one of the tiers is to add extra recipes and add your own unique ingredients to the book. So we'll go down to that tier. might have noticed I've added a few extra ones. So this is the MasterChef bundle, but this is an additional one I added, I think. Let me just double check. I think there's another version of the MasterChef bundle down somewhere. No, okay, my bad. So Celebrity Chef though. So Celebrity Chef is one where you get to add a unique character, like one of your OCs to the book, and will draw artwork of your character and they'll feature in the book itself. So there's one here and there's another one. I have to republish it. So we've got two. It's got two OCs appearing in the book, which is super cool. But no one backed the MasterChef bundle, so there's no actual extra unique recipes being added from actual Kickstarter backers. So yeah, which is perfectly fine. But I will be adding, I mean, at the moment I've written up about half a dozen special recipe cards, and I do plan to add a few more. And just go back up here. But what I'm kind of mainly focusing on with this book is giving you the tools to produce your own recipes, create your own, give you the tools to build really wild recipes of your own. And that's kind of what I think I want the book more to be, is one that encourages you to play with your food and then write down possibly those recipes, which I think is a lot more fun. Zaire, hello, good morning. How's it going? Yeah, it's pretty early here as well. We were up late last night watching some horror movies, so a bit tired. Mimi says, will you ever do a cooking video or stream making some of the foods from the cookbook or their closest equivalent IRL? I don't know how I would do that, because my stream setup here is so like rooted to my PC. I think if I did that, it would be really, really bad quality. It would be just super bad quality. But if you want to see a YouTuber cooking some D&D recipes, you should go check out Stephanie Plays Games. She just made a video recently where she cooked the Curse of Strahd campaign. So it was so clever. She like took inspiration from Curse of Strahd and said like, okay, what if Curse of Strahd was a meal, like a full course meal? And so she was like researching like foods that grow that don't need much sunlight and stuff like that, and using those as inspiration for the dish. And I just thought that was so cool. So you do check out Stephanie Plays Games if you want to see a D&D YouTuber cook, because it was so wonderful. It was so much fun. So we're sitting at $13,460. That's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. An unbelievable number. What would you all like to do for these last 47 minutes? Does anyone want to chat? I hope she didn't include the pies. Is there pies in Curse of Strahd? Maybe she did. I don't know. There's one recipe card in this book, and I really love it. It's called Grandma's Pie. Grandma's Mystery Pie. And it needs something like the memories of a celestial being, the meat of a CR20 or higher creature, and the kind of like liquid or like the life essence, so like blood or ichor or whatever, of a CR15 or higher creature. So it's like a really difficult recipe to make, but it's quite generic too. But the idea is my favorite part. Like, it does all these crazy things. Like, it makes you resistant to all damage and makes you incorporeal, but it also ages you 50 years when you eat it, and you can potentially die from shock of aging so quickly. But what it also does is, so if you are like a CR or level lower than 12, you're unaffected by the effects of this cake or of this pie, and you just think it's a normal pie that grandma made. But if you are a strong enough character, you gain these like godlike traits from eating this pie, which is, I just think it's just so cool. I think it's a really, really fun recipe. The Curse of Strahd pies. The old ladies from the windmill in Curse of Strahd make pies that all I'll say, geez, grandma, that's some pie. So yeah, this is kind of similar. I suppose the pie that I made, Grandma's Mystery Pie, in this book is for sure probably fits that bill pretty nicely, I would say. What's everyone the most excited about with this Kickstarter? I just added rules to the book as well for dubious food. So if you mess up your skill checks, and you can do this intentionally too, but if you totally fail the skill check, the ingredients aren't like destroyed. They instead turn into dubious food. And there's a chance you can still gain the benefits of one of the random ingredients that were added. But there's also a chance that you get magical food poisoning. And it can cause all kind of horrible problems for you. And actually, this is inspired by something I released on Patreon recently as well, which was a corruption skill tree. So there are levels of, food poisoning or corruption you can get from eating bad food in this cookbook, which I think is super fun. And it can actually end up killing you too if it gets really bad, if you don't get on top of that. Hello, Helena Faye. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Is there anything in the cookbook that you're excited about? Anything for this Kickstarter that you're like, oh damn, I can't wait to see that? Apart from maybe, cooking and eating monsters in D&D. Actually, I think I've pretty much finished the playtest document for the whole thing, so I might release that to some folks at some point if they want to see the playtest material of what's going in the book. Should we get a bit early? Oh, goodness. But pretty much, yeah, the whole book is written. We just need to make it pretty. We got lots of artwork already made, but we've got to assemble all that, and we're gonna do some big full page spreads. It's just very exciting. We're so close now to actually having the physical book, which is that's amazing. Bimi says, will you make a food in the book that purifies corruption and is super deadly to fiends? I think an angel's will can do that. It's a unique ingredient I made for this Kickstarter, and I think an angel's will does pretty much that. It can purify anyone, can heal them. I can't remember what you make with an angel's will. I can't remember what food it makes, but I'm pretty sure that is one. Helena Faye says, ooh, good question. I'd say the monster items themselves. I would really love to see what you do for each of them. I think they're my favorite, is the unique ingredients for monsters. There are generic ingredients as well, but then I've also made a massive list of stuff for unique monsters, which I'm very, very proud of. And the other plants and stuff too. Yeah, there's loads of foraging stuff that you can do in this book, and I just really have had a lot of fun making, fantasy ingredients. So these are less inspired by actual monsters in D&D, but these are just more fantastical things you can put in your game. A sunbloom or something like that, or kind of magical ores and stuff like that aren't just normal ores like iron or whatever. There's black stone, and there's so I really like those, because I think they'll make your world feel very rich and lived in, which is exciting. Beamy says, did you see Rose's Phantom of the Opera art? It looks amazing. Yeah, so if you haven't seen that, like, Rose, my fiance, she's been cooking. She is like on fire recently with her artwork. So if you want to check her out, actually, she's Rosary Blue on Instagram. I think I've linked her down in the description of this video. But for anyone out there, do go check out her Instagram, because like she's been like making just some crazy stuff recently, and she did a whole study on scenes from the Phantom of the Opera. And I gotta tell you, like, you know, obviously I've got bias in me, but like when you look at them side by side as well with the movie itself, it's like, holy crap. I genuinely, I prefer these than the movie. I think they actually look better, and I'm like, damn, I want to see the movie like this in this art style, because it just looks so good. And if you steal an angel's will, yeah, I think that's what's like left behind if you defeat an angel, is their will continue to like persevere. So when you get to some really high level monsters like angels and balors and all that kind of stuff, the ingredients you can gain from them become more abstract as well, which I think is kind of fun. So that's kind of the vibe I was going for there. Beamy says, I'm pretty sure you rip the angel's will from their corpse. Pretty much, yeah. Which is quite tragic as well, that you're ripping their will to continue, you know, existing. Because I feel like also, you know, I don't know if angels have souls. I feel like, you know, their body and soul are the same thing. But they're, you know, obviously angels are kind of created for a purpose. And so that is their will in my own head and my lore. So that's what you remove from them. You remove their purpose for existence, and you turn that into food, which is kind of a bit messed up for sure. Helena Faye says, does that make you worse than the devils or something? I mean, yeah, to some degree, but it's an ingredient in there. You don't have to eat it. But it's definitely one. I wanted to add some celestial stuff in there, and it's a pretty messed up one for sure. The artwork's cute though. It's a little blob with a cute little face. He's like a little glowing blob, and he's like, "Hi, what's up?" I'm assuming they weren't the best of angels. I guess, yeah, maybe they're rogue angels. Up to you. I'm very curious what stories you tell with angels' wills. An angel called Will. Will there be alignment-specific interactions in goblins, like through spells and such? No. There's no alignments in goblins. But there is, which I'm sure you're familiar with, there are going to be arcane affiliations, which will be kind of alignments. It'll be the schools of magic, it'll be creature types, and it will be the damage types. So arcane affiliations in goblins is going to cover all of that, and it's a much broader chart for, say, your alignment. This is much more, you know, you've got much more choice in the kind of personality of your character than just good or evil. But there are going to be items that are dormant unless they're wielded by a specific thread of magic or strand of magic. So you could pick up a dagger which has a dormant poison ability, and only if you're like a toxic type, when you wield that dagger, it'll just be like a +1 dagger. But say like you wield it as someone who has the toxic arcane affiliation, all of a sudden this will do additional poison damage, or it will, like, you know, paralyze or stun people that you hit with this dagger now, because you've unlocked the poison ability with it from like passing your magical energies into it. So it doesn't like completely lock you out of things, but you will be able to draw out more potential from magic items that share your arcane affiliation. That's the idea. Helene Faye says, I'm cooking in the world building then. Oh hell yeah. What I really hope is that this cookbook will be filled with so much world building inspiration. That's what I want more than anything, is that it will really inspire your stories. I certainly hope anyway. Let me turn the music a teeny bit. Bimi says Arcane Affiliation has so much fun for the Skydivers campaign. I like it. Hell yeah, Skydivers. I never got to play Skydivers. I never was into it hugely, but it seemed like a great time. My siblings were into it briefly, and it seemed like a great time. But that's so fun. Yeah, very much. From what I know, very much Skylanders coded for sure. And we love Pokemons, everyone loves a bit of Pokemon types, and wondering what Pokemon type you would be if you were a Pokemon type. I think it'd be really, really fun. So we got half an hour to go, folks. I don't know why I'm like slightly nervous. I don't know what's gonna happen when this timer reaches 0, but we'll see together. Did I watch Campfire Cooking? No, I haven't yet. I've written it down though. It's on my list. We just I haven't really had much time, sadly. I took this week. I've kind of taken off work. I've still done a bit of work, but it's the first time in ages that I've just stopped, because it's just been like a non-stop for me. So I've told myself I'm not releasing a video next week. It's going to be my first time, maybe ever, that I haven't released a video every second week. So it's a big step for me to just take a step back and say to myself, like, hey, you've done too much work. You don't need to release a video for next week. But yeah, I've just been going too much. I haven't really had much time, sadly. I've played a lot of video games recently. I've been playing Final Fantasy 15, which has reinvigorated my love for travel and fishing mini games. So we take a lot of inspiration from that. And we've been watching. My partner and I have been watching the rest of Andor. We're finishing that off. And there's a couple of other things we are watching, but we haven't started anything new yet. But I really would love to watch that. That actually just sounds so wonderful. So it's on my list, and I will watch it. I just haven't yet, unfortunately. Skylanders, not skydivers. Did I say skydivers? Sorry. But my players have been skydiving a lot too. Nice. They're always fun moments. I had that recently in a campaign I ran. My players jumped out of a flying island that exploded behind them, or started crashing behind them and started collapsing inwards. And that was really, really cool. That was a really lovely cinematic moment. And they all like held hands in a circle as they fell. And they just conveniently gained a kind of a glide speed ability while in the Sky Island, so it was safe enough to jump out. It was difficult to get up there though. Zaire says, did back the book yesterday. Oh, thank you so much. Sorry, I usually wait on things to stop myself making impulse purchases. Yeah, I totally get it. I do the same. I need to, because otherwise it's like, yeah, I ponder things for a very, very long time. So I totally get it. Nothing to apologize for there. But this book looks well worth it. I hope so. So far, without any artwork or any nice layouts and things, it's close to 100 pages. So it's actually much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I was estimating 50 to 100 pages. But now I'm thinking it's going to be like 150 to 200 pages. So it's going to be a meaty book. It's going to be pretty big, actually. Which is wonderful. I'm just so excited for that. Sorry. Itchy ear. Fair, rest. Thank you, Helena Faye. Bimi says, we stand a good work-life balance on this channel. Yeah, for sure. And I'm trying to develop more of a personality now than just being a YouTuber. I'm trying to you know, develop other hobbies now outside D&D and things. I need to get into some more stuff that's not just me at a desk all the time. So, because unfortunately, all my friends, you know, they all live abroad. So all our games as well, all our D&D games, they're all online. So I spend a lot of time here at this place, streaming, gaming, making videos, writing, editing, making Patreon stuff. So yeah, I need to do less of that and more fun stuff. I might try some rock climbing or something like that. We'll see. We get to eat such a big book. Yeah, it's gonna be a thick book, I swear. It's huge because we got the travel and exploration mechanics in there. We've got all the unique items. We've got the recipe cards. We've got, you know, generic ingredients and how to cook in this game. Then we've got the corruption stuff, like for dubious food. We've got dubious food rules in there. We've got making snacks as well, like baking quick snacks for people. And then fishing mini games, all you know, foraging, mining, hunting, all of those. So it's pretty thick. You know, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty juicy book. Chomp chomp. All right, we've got half an hour. The temptation to put on Mega Bonk while we wait. Food be sus. Yeah, we've got, so, you know, inspired by The Legend of Zelda. I've got mechanics in there that I've added for dubious food. So if you fail to prepare a meal successfully, if you don't meet the DCs and things, you will botch the food and it will turn into dubious food. You can eat it, potentially gain some of the benefits from one of the ingredients that were added, but there's also a chance that you get really sick, and it's kind of like it will cause a bunch of mutations and like corruption in your body if you don't get on top of that magical food poisoning soon. Like, the whole idea here, all the food that you make in this cookbook isn't normal food, even by the fantasy world standards. Most people are still eating stews and, you know, bread, normal kind of foods with normal ingredients. But adventurers, you are the ones who are eating really weird stuff to like keep adventuring. You're gaining these crazy buffs and benefits from eating like a hydra, things that people will not usually typically eat. And so with these really powerful foods that you're eating, there's also the potential for horrible food poisoning and other side effects to if you don't prepare this food right, it's going to negatively impact you rather than positively impact you. So that's the whole premise for that. BB says, you can always try your hand at blacksmithing. Oh, interesting. I've always wanted to give it a try, but never had the time. Blacksmithing is an interesting one. I don't think I ever considered blacksmithing. I do love working with my hands, though, doing like working on physical things. I might even try to make some, like work on some cosplays or something. I have to try out some 3D printing at some point too. I've got a 3D printer I still haven't used. So, lots of things I can try there. I think I want to do something active though, like physical, like a sport. I think that'd be really nice. Bimi says, are Jinkin affected by food? Yeah, 100%, 100%. I think even if creatures don't eat food or don't need to eat food, they can still eat this food. Like, it's so magical that you can just absorb it and absorb the benefits from it. I feel like every species in D&D can totally eat any of the meals in this game. Maybe I should put a note of that. That doesn't matter if you can't eat or shouldn't eat. You can still eat these. If it says, ooh, damn. I recommend looking for a course of blacksmithing to learn how to make a knife. And you can see if you like it. Possibly. Why blacksmithing? Is it because you've been interested in it yourself? I feel like it'd just be a very expensive hobby. That's my main fear. You know, you've got to get a whole blacksmithing setup for something like that. That'd be tricky enough to do. And we live in a small apartment, so I don't know how safe that would be either. But it's an interesting suggestion for sure. Now, what I'm going to do before I forget is I have a wheel that needs spinning. So let's go over here very quickly. I don't know if any of these people are in the chat, but we're going to spin a wheel here because I do still need to give out a break book for Break TTRPG. So I'm going to spin a wheel and we're going to see whose name it lands on. Anyone who commented on my break videos that I release, or at the end of some of my videos, if you had added #break to the comments of those, you had a chance to get your name in here. So I'm just gonna roll, because like the last person I reached out to, it's been about 3 weeks since I reached out to them, so I don't think they're gonna get back to me. So I'm gonna re-roll and see if anyone, if we can get a new person here. So let's spin the wheel and see who it lands on. I'll need to take a screenshot of this too, so I remember. Oh, no way. Bridge is going to be so sad that it rolled off them. F.A. Santiago. Congratulations, F.A. Santiago. I'm going to reach out to you in the comments if you're not here. I'll check if you're on Discord. F.A. Santiago. Actually, let me just take a picture of it myself, because I'll forget. Otherwise, I do not trust my own memory. I'll reach out to you, see if you're around. Otherwise, we spin this one more time. We spin it again. All right. Thank you very much. Go back here. And go back here. I saw a few messages come in there while I was doing that. Helena Face says, that'd be unsafe unless there is some kind of workshop to visit. Yeah, I don't know of any workshops. Maybe there is one that exists for sure. Yeah, I don't think I would do it in the apartment for sure. Vimy says, my family history is very tied to blacksmithing. The whole reason my family moved to my current home country was because my ancestor was the best blacksmith around, and they needed them to work at the castle. Whoa, that is really, really cool. That's crazy cool. What the hell? So I'm here, so you can always give me hell. Give it to me. Oh, okay. Nice. Lucky number 6, please. Unfortunately, there was no number 6. I'm so sorry. But we might have to roll it again, depending on if this person gets back to me. I'll give them a week, and if not, I'll just spin the wheel again until we get to someone who does get a break book. Elena Faye says, I would love the goblin in the middle of the spinning wheel. I love the goblin in the middle, but thank you. Right, last 20 minutes. You know what? I'm going to play Mega Bonk. I'm going to put on Mega Bonk. We're going to do one run of Mega Bonk. And we're going to see. I'm just craving it. I don't know if any of you know Mega Bonk. I'm saying Mega Bonk a lot. But Mega Bonk is a very fun kind of fusion game of, how do I describe it? Like Vampire Survivors meets Risk of Rain 2, if those games mean anything to you. We're just gonna put it on. We're gonna pass the last 20 minutes playing this. We'll see if it even runs. Oh, you're off? Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much for joining. We're at 20 minutes left. So thank you so much. I will let you know, or you can see in the video, you can watch this back, see what happens when we actually reach 20 minutes at the final countdown. But no worries. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you around. Okay. Mega bonk. Let's see. I'll show you. This is my new obsession anyway. My favorite art of the goblin has been the one where he got hit by the arrow. I want to give him a bandage whenever you point out the thing. When I ever see the poor thing. I really like that style of the goblin. And I want to start drawing that a bit more. It's funny how he's evolved as well into other strange things. Yeah, so he like started off like this up here in the top of the screen over here. That's how he started, but he has been developing more and more as I've been drawing him more and more. He's kind of become a bit more cutesy, I suppose. So that is very much a good summary of how he looks now. Now let's see here if I can add a screen capture, display capture. Sure. Sorry. Oh no, not that one. Okay, cancel that. Delete. Yes. Sorry. Don't know what that was. Let's see. Okay, you know, screw it. Screw Megabunk. I don't know how to set you up. I don't think it's worth it. We're not going to get through a game in 19 minutes either. So, better to spend time with all of you. So let's go back here. Let's put back on our music. There we go. So now we wait. We wait and see. Let me see if I can show you some of the stuff I've been working on. I think that might be a nice shout. So, let's go. How do I do this without? Yeah, there we go. I'll open it up on a separate tab, and I'll show you the book that I've written up so far, the playtest stuff. Okay, here we are. No, how do I? There we go. And now, beautiful. Woot, the goodies. Yeah, so let's have a look. So this is the raw playtest file for the Ugly Goblins cookbook. Obviously, there's still a lot more changes that I'm going to be adding. We've got our basic introductions, how to cook food here. The whole idea is that you've got a DC that you're trying to meet on every ingredient. You try to hit it once you unlock that effect. That's going to be incorporated into the meal. Your sous chefs can either help increase your skill check as the head chef, and they will also increase regardless, as long as they succeed on their skill check. I think they will increase the number of portions that are made for the meal. So the head chef can only make a number of portions equal to their proficiency modifier, but if other people join in, they can also add their proficiency modifier to that. So you kind of want people to help you with a meal just so that you can feed the whole party. But other people can also add in other ingredients to add additional effects to the meal. And then together, once you've made your skill checks based on how you've done and everything, taking all that into consideration, you start with the sous chefs and have them describe what they have prepared and how they have whatchamacallit? My brain's getting foggy now. I'm so tired. How they've contributed to the meal. And then after that, the head chef describes the final meal that is presented to everyone. Is this an expanded version of the cookbook you have on Kickstarter? Do I have a cookbook? So this is the cookbook that will be the Kickstarter itself. It's very much expanded on my Kickstarter, my cookbook on Patreon, maybe, if that's what you mean, because I did release a cookbook on Patreon. But yeah, very much it changes up things big time. for that. But there's a lot of similar things too, but there's also more of everything in this. So we've got generic ingredients down here. These will all be expanded on as well. And then we've got the unique ingredients here. So we've got slad eggs, eye lord central eye. Like I can't use things like yeah, so this is very much like that is no worries. So yeah, I took that as the base for this, as a base skeleton, and it's all being built upon now from that. So that book is maybe as a Word document, I think it's like 10-15 pages. So I've tried to expand it immensely, but yes. But the raw cooking mini game, I suppose, from that is the inspiration for a lot of this. Yeah, we've got then all these unique ingredients here: aboleth blubber, eye lord central eye, slad eggs. Actually, I need to change slad. I can't use slad. Frog demon. Put that in for now. Frog demon egg. We've got rot bugs, mammoth cheese, dinosaur steak, quaddle scales, unicorn blood, angel's will. Oh yeah, so what does this do again? So if you can siphon the will from a dying angel and whip it into a light mousse made of pure light and innocence, you have created the greatest dessert to have ever existed. This ambrosia, once consumed, will invigorate the body beyond comprehension, blessing it with an undying will to live. A creature who's consumed an angel's will gains a regenerative healing factor, restoring 10 HP hit points to that creature at the start of each of their turns, so long as they are still alive. Thank you. Yeah, I for these, I wanted each ingredient to be really flavorful and have like a semi kind of like a mini recipe baked within each one. So that's the vibe there. We've got polygon people. I might have to change that as well. This is meant to be modrons, but I can't use modrons. So if you have any suggestions what I could use here instead, I'm all ears. So these hard glass lights. So you take it's their eye actually. Polygon people. Polygon person's eye. Polygon person's eye. So these hard glass-like spheres can be cracked open to reveal a thick white minty sauce. One eye can feed up to 3 people, granting them advantage on all perception checks they make for the next hour, as the cool mint refreshes their body and heightens their senses. So another kind of fun one for if you crack open a glass modron's eye. Damn, that feels like something a high noble would pay thousands of gold pieces for, just to show off the angel's will at a feast, for sure. So yeah, if you ever ate Tracheros, this is what it would taste like. You would have a minty eye that you can crack open. Golem scroll, held horror smoke, which you can use to smoke any food. We've got a dragon heart that just gives you kind of dragon features. It mutates you into like a pseudo dragon kind of character. Turtle dragon meat, tough dark steak. This meat is compared to a shark, but with a stronger oceanic taste, similar to oysters or scallops. So very fishy steak, thick leathery fishy steak. Draco lichen. So I think this is actually a really cool one. This is like the lichen that grows on a Dracolich. So this brittle, pale lichen that grows on the bones of Dracoliches can easily be crumbled into a fine powder to be added to any dish to give it a potent, musty flavor, not too dissimilar to truffles. One draconic Dracolich typically provides 1d12 plus 2 servings of this powder. A creature who consumes the powder is considered to be an undead creature along with their current creature type for the next 13 days. and can see into the ethereal realm. Along with this, they are haunted by the dreams of dragons from the dragon that this lichen was taken from. So lots of flavor there for sure. Elemental, Core Shard, Phoenix Down, Leviathan Soul. So yeah, you've got these more abstract things with really high level creatures like a Leviathan Soul. Pixie Dust, Redcap, Hag Hair. What's Hag Hair do? Can be dried into a seasoning. The season can be sprinkled over any food. A creature who eats this food becomes charmed and has disadvantage on charisma or wisdom saving throws they make for the next hour. So yeah, charmed by, I should actually say, becomes charmed by the first creature they see and has disadvantage on charisma. On any charisma and wisdom saving throws they make for the next hour. So this is very much inspired by Critical Role as well, with the powder or sprinkles of deliciousness that what's her name uses. Jester uses on the hag at one stage. So this is kind of taking inspiration from that. It's a bit of a nod to Critical Role. Helena Faye says, wow, that makes sense. You wouldn't want to eat the undead dragon, but the fungus on it though, totally. Yes, exactly. 100%. We've got Abyssal Underling Ichor, which is originally a dretch. Can be chilled to form a thick black custard. Creature consumes this dessert acts extra nasty for the next 8 hours. So there's just fun, just like roleplay ones as well in here. Balor Fire, Frost Giant's Toenail, Fire Giant's Heart, Storm Giant's Eye, Rustbug Rust, Mimic's Tongue, Hydra Stake. Hydra Stake is kind of crazy. So when consumed, the next time this creature's head would be chopped off, they do not die, but are still reduced to 0 hit points, and they it's chopped off, do not die. But are still reduced to 0 hit points and regrow a second. So you're still dying, but you don't die outright. But you grow an additional head, which is kind of fun. Yeah, the cupcake scene is legendary. So we got oozes here, yellow ochre cytoplasm, which you can whip up into meringues with some sugar, gelatinous cube jelly, Elder Memory Slime's nucleus. So again, I can't use Obelix, so I've got to use this Elder Memory Slime's nucleus. Can be consumed raw to pass on all the memories stolen by the slime. Stolen by this creature to the creature that consumed it. It's easier to, won't be hounded for that. Fungi folk mold, so the mold that grows on myconoids, you can also use. Mold of moving vines as well. Mound of moving vines. So this is a shambling mound, which I also can't use. So mound of moving vines. And tree folk sap. So you don't have to kill a treant, but you can take the sap from it if you want. So when heated with a sweetener, makes for a wonderful, refreshing syrup that can be poured over any meal. When consumed, it grants the effects of the Speak with Plant spell for the next 8 hours. How are we doing on the Kickstarter, by the way? 6 minutes? My goodness. Okay, gotta keep an eye on that so we don't miss it. They do look tasty, those slimes, for sure. They definitely look very biteable. Here are the regional recipes. Got beef dragon stroganoff, which is from the original PDF. These two are from the original PDF. But then we've also got Goblin's Buzzy Good Soup. So you need 1 portion of dire or giant creature, smashed up good. Rats is best. Misfortune says, imagine feeding the Obelix thing a random commoner, and they give you memories of millions of lives. Yeah, God, horrible. Jesus. Like that, I think that's such a cool nugget to give a DM, to be like, hey, yeah, you can just give me whatever random memories this thing has. So not only do you realize this person has passed away, but you now hold all their memories, which is super cool, I think. Oh, I see those fungi folk using that as trading options. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, just trading the fungi that's growing on their body for things like that. I think that's cool. Like a really wealthy fungi folk would just have like so many growths all over their body. That's really cool. So the Buzz soup, you also need 1 portion of chimera milk made into cheese before being added. Just add acid to milk. It goes nice and lumpy. Those lumps make good cheese. This is obviously written by a goblin. And then you need 3 portions of your favorite creatures cut up into small bits and tossed in. So this is one of the only meals here that if you eat it, you also may suffer like stages of corruption, and it's considered like a dubious food that these goblins eat. So bunch of stuff that can happen, but basically goblins eat this when they go into battle. And oh, I actually forgot to change these actually need to be changed. This is actually okay. I haven't actually added I have them in another document, but I need to add the actual effects of this. Oops. And then we've got Guinea's Grandma Mystery Pie, which I mentioned earlier. Then we've got the Drippy Trippy Sippy. Okay, let me just double check the time. Okay, we're still good. We have 4 minutes. Let me explain the Drippy Trippy Slippy. This is a cocktail that you make using the eye of a what they call an Umber Hulk's eye. You use an aboleth's egg, and you use 1 portion of purified blood from any brain eater. So any creature like an illithid or a what are they called again? Not mind flare. Intellect devourer. Anything that exclusively feeds on brains. And when you eat this, the benefits here are kind of cool. You know, you gain 30 foot of true sight, you gain the effects of the levitate spell, and you reduce any damage you would take equal to your level. But then the main feature of this is anyone who consumes this is immediately plunged into a psychedelic experience where their perception of the world is changed for this meal's duration. So while in this psychedelic state, you receive no damage, shrugging off any harm that your body it just considers like cosmetic in that moment. But when the effects of this end, so you take no damage, you're immune to damage. But when the effects of this thing end, you keep track of all the damage that you take, and then you take all of that in one big bulk sum as force damage when it comes to an end. So let's say you have 20 health, and over the course of being under the effects of this drink, you take 40, 50 damage or something. Things that could be healed typically. But then at the end of this, you take that 50 damage immediately, which is enough to just outright instantly kill you. So it's a very cool thing because you take no damage for a very long time, but then you've got to be very careful about the damage that you take and getting ready with your healers with revivify spells afterwards. But yeah, that's that. Okay, we've got 2 minutes. Let's see what everyone's said there in the meantime. That's it. We did it. It's complete. I didn't know they do fireworks. That's so cute. Wow, 256 backers. That's incredible. That's amazing. Wow. That's amazing. Thank you, everyone. So much. I I can't believe we made it. Kind of like lost a little bit of words. It's quite surreal seeing this. Jeez. That's incredible. Thank you, everyone, from the bottom of my heart. Genuinely, this I cannot express how huge this is for our life here. This is just a sign of so much potential too for the future. It's been difficult in my life to find a balance of, you know, work and also being happy, because I would say I'm quite a creative individual. So like I can't do 9-to-5 jobs. I'd be so sad and depressed with a 9-to-5 job. So to be able to do this as a job, to be creative full time and be supported from it, and to like, I'll leave that on. I'm really struggling here with words. It's also probably because I'm quite tired. But the success of this Kickstarter just fills me with so much hope for the future, that I can make, you know, this into a decent. I can make a decent living out of doing this, because right now, you know, up until this point, I've been able to pay bills. But I'm not saving money for like a house at this stage. I'm not. We're not able to get many nice things. Like, we still have a dishwasher in this new apartment. Not saying your money is immediately going to helping us buy a dishwasher. The money's going towards the book. But the fact that we can pay ourselves somewhat of a nice wage this year, because my fiance as well, she's studying. I'm doing this. I'm doing YouTube. You know, if to imagine a future where we're making books on the regular, imagining a future where I can maybe make a Kickstarter next year and pay all of my other friends who are artists to create artwork for the book. Most of my D&D players, they're all artists. They're all they all create. They're graphic designers. They're illustrators. To be able to, you know, hire them, to maybe commission them, to commission my friends to do artwork for a book like this in the future. It's such a wonderful thought to be able to support so many people in my life. Thank you so much. I hope I can deliver the most wholesome, the most freaky ass book of all time. I'm so excited to release this book, and I've been putting my heart and soul into this thing, and I hope that you really love it. That's all really, I guess. Thank you so much, everyone. My wife, the NC, thank you so much for supporting this, for refreshing the page every day and seeing how the Kickstarter has been doing. Thank you, Zaire. Thank you, Miss Fortune. Thank you, Elena Faye. Thank you so much. Time to eat the goblins. Don't touch the goblins. Thank you, everyone. Truly. This is just so wonderful. I don't really know what else to say. If anyone has any other questions, let me know. But I think we'll leave it there. We did it, guys. We did it with some extra stuff to spare. And I will say, there will be fishing mechanics. We didn't reach our final goal, like one of our stretch goals. No, we made our final goal. We didn't reach any of our stretch goals. The first one was for the fishing mini game. I'm gonna add it in anyway. You know I'm gonna add it in anyway. We're gonna have a fishing mini game in there. It's the least I can do to say thank you to everyone who has supported this and just made this possible. I love you all. I hope you're having a wonderful day, night, wherever you are. Happy Halloween if it's still Halloween somewhere. And I'll see you around. Goodbye.